Alright, this one's for Sujin and for Gabe. This is also a good video for anyone else to watch just to see what's going on because this is important stuff. I want to run a test of the canvas to see if we can make something rather interesting. And it's going to require the two of you guys working together, and it's going to, and thinking this way is going to get all of us, there it goes. Thinking this way is going to get all of us in a better spot so that you can, I want all of us to consider how can we make things that us, other devs, or an AI agent could use and improve. So what does that mean? Well, so if ever you go to AO.bot, when I first conceived of what AO.bot was going to be, 7-8 years ago, this was always the idea. So AO is this little bot here that pops out. And AO right now is just a super dumb basic thing that isn't of much help. But we have made experiences in the past where we animate AO. Gabe, you've worked on those specifically, and we've had some good results in terms of turning him into more of a character, just to see how that goes. And I've been very happy with those results. Let's look at one of those real quick. Let me see if I can find it. So here, if we go all the way back to the Bible Canvas intro in October of last year, Gabe, you worked on this version of it. And anyone who wants to see how this works, obviously you can check that out in the code. And we'll just take our time through this, and I'm going to talk through philosophically what we've got going on. So AO, I picked AO because it's a bot for the Alpha and Omega, which is another name for Jesus in Revelation. Jesus saying he's the beginning and the end. But also AO is kind of a fun thing to say, and it translates into every single language. Every single language has A and O in their sounds. And so there's no culture that someone couldn't say AO's name, and that was very important to me. None I'm aware of. And so here in this demo, AO appears in this intro and says, "Hi, I'm AO. You must be new around here," and it's kind of talking to you. And it's moving, it's animating, it's exploring the Bible, and so this is just a really great demo, by the way, and I recommend anyone should look at. And AO is asking you questions. Hey, can we open this? And Gabe worked hard on these disappearing menus and UIs and things like that. Yeah, let's open it. And then this was the first version of the stack where we were working on this concept here was basically thinking through what if inside of AO was this whole other world where you could learn and teach and grow and have these characters, and what would the resource of that world be? And we came up with raw light as the idea of like some kind of currency, as it were. And raw light, symbolizing truth, knowledge, improvement, that sort of stuff. And so we wanted to, weave the concept in with exploring the Bible, discovering light, using that to unlock new experiences, something like that, as a great way for kids or anyone really to play through biblical experiences. So here, let's scan this. AO's scanning it. Beep boop. Oh, I gotta click. And then it says, hey, I found a signal, but I don't have the energy to connect us. And the idea here was AO scans the light, and we didn't fully realize this concept, but we got it to the point where I felt good about saying, hey, this is working. We'll table this and come back to this in the future. But the idea was somewhere in the Bible is this character that wants you to find him named Mr. Sheeple or something like that. So you gave AO the light, and he's discovering a signal hiding within the pages of the Bible, and then that person is now speaking to you. You don't know who it is yet. Is someone there? And AO is like the conduit for this communication. And he says, hey, you're probably looking at a big old Bible. I'm embarrassed to say I got lost in here, so why don't we help each other out? I'll teach you about the Bible, and you can explore it to find me. And AO now is talking to you and says, come on, we have to help him. If you say nah, he says, pretty please. So we'll go, sure. Oh yes, you're going to love this. Right, the Bible is the adventure of a lifetime. We'll just skip ahead. You probably heard of the Old and New Testament, and it just kind of gives you a quick overview of the Testaments and some of these things, and then expands the stack. This was a very old version of the stack that had these cool colors. Later it became what everyone else has seen by now in the regular demo that we have. So there's talking about the 49 scrolls, how those expanded to the different sections. There's the Protestant and the Hebrew arrangements. And it just gives you an overview, and then from there, this guy says, "Hey, I've helped you out by teaching you. So now that you know better about the Bible, maybe you could find me and rescue me." And I'll say, "I will help you." And he says, "Really? Oh, thank you." And then that was as far as this experience went. And where that was going to go next was you were going to meet basically Mr. Sheeple inside of this little village that you could eventually, as you're just exploring the Bible, you could have this is a test. This is not, you wouldn't be Mario, but basically you would at one point jump into AO, and that's just a thing that anyone can summon AO anywhere, and then they could jump into AO if they wanted to. And inside of AO would be kind of this village, and the village would be full of these sheeple that want to interact with you. They want to learn about the Bible. They're not smart enough to learn about the Bible, but they would love you to teach them about the Bible. We could have wolves come into the village that you need to saying things that are wrong or false, and the sheep are like, "Oh, hey, that sounds great," and then it's your job to be like, "No, here's the Bible verse that says that's not true." A wolf might show up and say something like, "Jesus never said he was God," or whatever, and then you could be like, "No, read the book of John." Anyway, whatever. Here is all of this stuff. So that was the concept. All that to say, I want to get back to running some of those kinds of experiments where AO has a real voice, and we can do that with Hume. So Hume is a great voice-to-speech AI that can do all sorts of stuff. This is just going to be an internal test. This is not something we're going to make publicly available to everyone because this could get expensive fast, and I don't want to mess with all that. I just want to make an internal test for us. And you can use speech to... It's a great voice thing. Let's just try it out right now. Let's see, can I hear it? Hello, are you there?
Hello? Hi there. Yes, I'm here and ready to chat. How can I help you today?
What kind of voices do you have?
I don't actually have different voices or accents. I'm an AI assistant without an audible voice. I communicate through text responses, but I can try to convey different tones and personalities through my choice of words and phrasing. Let me know what kind of vibe you're going for, and I'll adapt my language accordingly.
Can you give me a helpful, friendly, kind of like a family-friendly vibe that is going to not be... It's going to be like you're speaking to an adult, but in just very warm tones to guide someone through a new experience who might be confused or might have questions.
Hey there.
Perfect. I love that. Can you describe to me what the book of Genesis is about in terms of Christian theology?
Sure, I'd be happy to explain the book of Genesis in a warm, friendly way that's appropriate for adults. The book of Genesis is the first book of the Bible and a foundational text in Christian theology. It describes the creation of the world.
That's enough. You can stop there. That's perfect. Thank you. So, do you think you would be a good voice? I know you're text-to-speech, but do you think you'd be a good voice for an AI avatar?
No problem at all. I think I could make a pretty good voice for an AI avatar. While I don't have an actual voice myself, I can communicate in a warm, friendly, and approachable way that would work well for guiding someone through a new experience. My language aims to be clear,
okay,
yet
we get it. That's enough. Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right, so that's Hume. So we could definitely use Hume to be the interface. And what I would like to run an experiment of is we already have Hume integrated into AO.bot. We've integrated Hume, we've integrated Claude, we've integrated a few others. And what we would need to do to make this work is basically we would need you, Gabe, to help us and this is a Gabe and Sujin task, really. Where did I make these notes? Yeah, so perfect. So to do this in the Canvas, I made these notes here in the Canvas MVP, because this really is part of our roadmap anyway, and so this is not going to take us off task to work on this. But if you saw it in the Hume thing, what we need in CasualOS is we just need, oops. Hey, I just am trying to explain this to somebody. Just be quiet, please.
Hey there.
So what we need over here on the right-hand side is this chat log. We don't need the determination, awkwardness, distress. Hey, I'm not awkward. Call me awkward, you big jerk. We don't need all of that. We just need this chat log on the right-hand side. So if we have a chat log where we show the user and show the assistant, or just show AO here on the right-hand side, that would be enough in the Canvas to then begin a chat response. So basically, I think you should be able to click on AO and then click chat or something. Well, we can figure that out. And then if you click chat, then the chat log will appear. And we can then, you can ask questions and it can respond. And then the next step here is to explain to Claude, let's see. Hume is a voice response. We would probably use Anthropic as the actual text. So Hume is text to speech in a warm, empathetic way. We would use Claude and 3.5 Sonnet for the actual language model that is generating text. Then we would take that text and use that for text to speech in the Canvas. And we would do that probably through Claude, as I was saying. And so we would want Claude, we would pre-prompt Claude, and we would just say, hey Claude, you're in the Canvas, you're using CasualOS, here's the GitHub repo, here's the general stuff the Canvas can do. The Canvas, here's what a shout and a whisper is, and then if the user asks these sorts of things, try doing these shouts or whispers. And that's what we would need to work on. So basically what I'm imagining here, if I go to the latest and greatest stuff of what you've got, Gabe, wherever that is, here. So if someone were to ask, hey, can you give me a 3D Bible or say something to that effect, then Claude, which is Anthropic's 3.5 Sonnet model, would go, yep, no problem. You would take that, yep, no problem. You would say, Hume, say, yep, no problem, as if you are AO.bot. Hume would then speak that. And so then Claude would do a shout to then have this appear. Or if someone said, hey, can you just show me the book of Genesis, chapter 3? Then you might explain to Claude, hey, just pull out Genesis, or you could even say, hey, just summon Genesis, like have Genesis just pop out of the ground and appear right here, open it, and then highlight chapter 3 for them. And so you just need to make it easy to then to activate a book, have a whisper or a shout that generates a book, a verse, or a section, or the whole Bible, and then basically just takes a click action as a next step, right? And then if you were to say, hey, Claude, drag out chapter 16 for me, Claude would know you were just speaking about Genesis, and then Claude would respond and say, yep, no problem, let me do that. And then behind the scenes, Claude would know that it needs to shout, like we could have like an on-click shout of like place on canvas or something like that, or some kind of shout or whisper to place Genesis 16 on the canvas, which would then just tell you to like, hey, knock that out and just drop it right in front and then activate it. And then if you say, hey, Claude, show me the verses, it would pull up the verses, and then it could say, cool, color them red or whatever. So so we just have to experiment with that and run that test and see how things go. So that's the test I want to run. So what we need to do for that test is Gabe, I want to get wherever you're at in the stack, I want to wrap that up. I want to get that done in a good state so that we can run these tests in the next few days. Just finishing out these sections, opening and closing. And then, Gabe, I want you to sprint on working on the shouts and whispers. It's Friday. I'm not asking everyone to do this over the weekend per se. This is something that, if you're working this weekend, great, Gabe. Gabe and Sujin, please coordinate and just see. Well, just talk to me, message me, and let me know who's working on what when. We'll figure it out. I want to take next week and get as far as we can in this mode. And Sujin, you can start working right now on the chat element and make sure we have Sonnet, Claude model pulled in, pull in Hume, have a little chat modal for chatting with the AI and stuff like that. And Gabe, start working on those shouts and whispers, and I'll let the two of you, Sujin, if you have ideas on shouts and whispers that you want Gabe to do that you think would be great. If anyone else has any ideas, all that's possible too, just drop them in this is the lab, so if anyone has thoughts, please share them. But let's run this experiment, and if this experiment goes well, that would be really cool. This will not be a regular capability of AO.bot. In the future, if we were to really roll this out, what we would do is we would have some kind of paid option. Not that I want to pay. I don't want to charge people money, but there's an actual hard cost to this. And so we would just have a simple AI upgrade of some kind that people could subscribe to or something that would let the AI agent use the canvas on their behalf, possibly leveraging Claude or Hume or 11 Labs, or there's other services that do these things. We would find the cheapest and the best, and we would let people pay to then have that as a service. If people wanted to bring their own API keys for these other services and just pay for it themselves individually, we would always support that too. That would be the idea. That's all I got for now. Let me know if this is making sense. I hope, and then I hope this is instructing you, Gabe, but not just you, Gabe. I hope this is helping everyone understand the reason we're building these things in a programmatic way, and this was always the reason, is so that we can keep it in a machine learning, machine readable, machine friendly format for AI, for ML, for all sorts of other stuff. And by using shouts and whispers on different tags, on different bots, we have a great model that an AI can easily understand and engage with to be an agent on our behalf, and not just one AI, but multiple AIs. You could have Claude and GPT doing different things in this environment if you wanted to. So, all that to say, have this in mind when you make something. That's all I got for now. Thanks, my friends. I hope everyone's doing well.